Hi, I'm Stephanie Stanton with mahalodotcom. Okay, teens and kids, it is very difficult always to get them to eat healthy. They are notorious for eating junk food. Well, joining us now again is Vanessa with Radical Parenting. How do we get our kids to have a healthy lifestyle?
Yes, so health is all over the news right now. And actually, Michelle Obama has a whole new campaign on healthy lifestyle, which I love. I think what's really important for parents is to realize there's a couple of different parts of healthy lifestyle. Sleep, hugely important, and we all know how hard it is to get teenagers to go to sleep, but once they fall asleep, they'll sleep for 12 hours. Junk food and eating healthy, eating balanced, as well as exercise. We're seeing more and more, unless your child is an athlete, they're spending more and more time sitting in front of the computer or at school. So there's sort of three aspects that we're talking about today, and that's the most important thing to talk to your kids about. To say to them, what do you think of when you think of a healthy lifestyle? On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think your sleep is? How do you think your eating is? How do you think your exercise habits are? A lot of the time, teenagers actually don't self-evaluate. So teaching them, the very first step is teaching them how to self-evaluate.
What about difference between boys and girls? I know younger and younger girls tend to be more worried about their weight now.
Yes.
How do we encourage them to be healthy without, but still, eating properly?
Yes, so girls typically tend to model after people around them. So both mothers and fathers should, if they have a teen girl especially, or even a tween girl who's thinking about body image or is, talking about cutting calories, to really be careful with their modeling. If you're a mom and you're always dieting, it's very likely that your teen daughter will think that she has to do that too. So for girls, be very careful about who they're looking up to. What are their friends doing? What are the other women in their life doing? And the men in their life, how are they talking about the women? Do they say, oh wow, she looks healthy, she looks so fit, I love that. For boys, they don't do as much on modeling. They usually, for them, it's an issue of motivation. So if you wanted to get your teen boy to sleep more or sleep less or sleep at better times or eat better, you want to think about motivation. So you can say to them, okay, like you have a big test coming up, I need you to get this many hours of sleep. If you do that, I'll make any breakfast you want. So you want to sort of think about motivation for boys. That's what really gets them going.
Yeah, and then in terms of healthy eating, there's so much, junk food and fast food, and how do you encourage them to eat healthy when it's not necessarily cool?
Yeah, yes, it's not necessarily cool. That's the big problem. What I always tell parents is to get their teenager involved in the process. So for example, for teen boys especially, they see vegetables, they're like, you're joking me, or you give them a salad for lunch, they can't believe it. So the great thing is to actually say, okay, every Sunday we're going to the supermarket and we're going to pick out stuff together. And actually sitting in the supermarket with them and looking at the different ideas, looking at how their lunch could be made, or having them make their own lunch. That way they're much more likely to eat it and not trade it, which happens sometimes at schools, and they're much more likely to eat it and not have to buy something else, like buy Doritos or buy chips at the cafeteria. So getting them involved can be a great way to make sure that they're sort of taking eating into their own hands.
Yeah, and then how strict do you get in terms of, trans fat, low fat, high fat? And they are growing, so some fat is good.
Yeah, I always say that balance is the best thing. You can't really, unless you want to drive your kid and yourself crazy, say, this fat, this many carbohydrates, this many calories, but to say to them, look, all that's important to me is balance. As long as you're having a little bit of vegetables, a little bit of fruit, a little bit of fat, a little bit of sugar, I'm okay with it. And usually if you stick with that, they actually do end up eating, not too much. They don't have too much of something bad.
Thanks, Vanessa. Great advice as always. Now, if you would like more information about any of the topics discussed here, you can go ahead and click on any of these links, or you can go ahead and subscribe to Mahalo Parenting, or go ahead and send us an email at requests@mahalodotcom. Thanks for watching.